The new Vivo X50 Pro features a gimbal camera system which is a first of its kind on a smartphone. It is meant to stabilize videos as well as stills by compensating for your hand movement. Now this is a new smartphone from Vivo in the X series in a really long time, and I test out this X50 Pro to tell you if it's worth your money. Hi, I'm Aditya from Gadgets 360 and you're watching the full review of the Vivo X50 Pro. But before I go ahead with this review, be sure to subscribe to the Gadgets 360 YouTube channel and click that bell icon so that you're the first to know when we have a new video. The Vivo X50 Pro is very well designed. It looks premium and feels sturdy. It features a thin metallic frame sandwiched between the curved display and the curved rear glass panel. There's a Scotch sensation up glass on the front and back for scratch protection. The Vivo X50 Pro sports a 6.56-inch AMOLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate, and it's also HDR10 Plus certified. The display gets bright enough outdoors and has good viewing angles. The display produced crisp details and I enjoyed watching video on the Vivo X50 Pro. The in-display fingerprint scanner was quick to unlock the smartphone, and face recognition never required more than one attempt to work. This phone lacks an IP rating for dust and water resistance as well as wireless charging, features that I do expect from a smartphone that's priced around 50,000 rupees today. In terms of software, the Vivo X50 Pro runs FunTouch OS 10.5 on top of Android 10. I did find a few pre-installed apps on the smartphone. You get an Ultra Game mode which clears memory when you launch a game and lets you mute incoming notifications and calls while gaming. One of the first things that caught my attention on the spec sheet was the Qualcomm Snapdragon 765G SoC. It is a 5G ready SoC which delivers very good performance if the OnePlus Nord is any indication. Other than this, you only get one configuration of the Vivo X50 Pro in India, which has 8GB of RAM and 256GB of UFS 2.1 storage, without any option to expand it further. The Vivo X50 Pro offered very good performance and I never noticed any lag or stutter while using it. I did not have to wait for a long time to load heavy apps, and I was able to multitask between different apps very easily. As for gaming, I played PUBG Mobile on the Vivo X50 Pro and it defaulted to the high preset. The phone could handle the game at these settings without any issues, and I did not notice any stutter while playing. Battery life on the Vivo X50 Pro was very good and it lasted beyond a day without needing to be charged. In our HD video loop test, the Vivo X50 Pro lasted for 15 hours and 40 minutes, which is fairly good. The supplied 22W flash charge 2.0 charger is quick to charge the device, getting it to 50% in 30 minutes and 91% in an hour. Let's talk about the cameras now. The Vivo X50 Pro features a 48MP quad camera setup at the back. You can see the specs of the other rear cameras on your screen now. In daylight, the Vivo X50 Pro managed good shots with a decent amount of detail. The ultra wide-angle camera offered a wider field of view, but there was a noticeable loss in detail compared to shots taken with the primary sensor. Close-ups turned out quite well. However, the AI tends to boost colors slightly, which I wasn't too happy with. If you have trouble keeping your hand steady while shooting, there's no reason to worry with the Vivo X50 Pro, as the gimbal system compensates very well, resulting in a crisp shot nearly every time. The Vivo X50 Pro lets you set the level of blur, beautification and style effects before taking a shot in portrait mode. The output had good edge detection and the phone could distinguish between the subject and the background very well. For macro shots, the Vivo X50 Pro uses the wide-angle camera. It takes good macro shots, and the higher resolution of the ultra-wide-angle sensor allows you to magnify and crop shots if required. The telephoto camera offers 5x optical zoom and up to 60x digital zoom. At 5x, photos have good detail, but at higher magnification levels there is a slight dip in the level of detail but not very much grain. Larger text at a distance was still legible even at higher magnification levels. Photos taken in low light had good detail, and the phone managed to keep noise and grain to a minimum. Enabling night mode enhanced the overall brightness of shots with better details in the shadows. On the front of the phone, you get a 32MP selfie camera. The selfies taken with this 32MP front camera turned out very well during the day with good details. Besides, low light shots also had good detail even after cropping. Video recording tops out at 4K 60fps for the primary camera, while the selfie camera is limited to 1080p. The gimbal camera system helps stabilize video very well, resulting in steady looking footage at 1080p as well as 4K. It also managed to stabilize footage while I was pacing up and down, which was impressive. Video shot in low light is also stabilized at 1080p as well as 4K. Footage shot in low light had good detail and very low noise, but there was some occasional shimmer effect when changing directions while walking. The Vivo X50 Pro is the first smartphone to feature built-in gimbal stabilization. While this is a first-gen product, it does the job quite well. Hopefully, this feature will become more common in the future. Video stabilization was quite good, and the gimbal system does make it super easy to take shots with night mode. If you shoot a lot of videos on your smartphone and don't want to spend on a handheld gimbal, then the Vivo X50 Pro should appeal to you. If you don't really care about having a flagship level SoC and would rather have the best available stabilization on a smartphone, there's nothing that comes close to the Vivo X50 Pro. Well, at least not yet. However, it isn't a good all-rounder and lacks in a few key areas. The OnePlus 8, for example, offers better app and gaming performance at a lower price. Similarly, the Xiaomi Mi 10 5G and the OnePlus 8 Pro are powerful alternatives at this price. So that was my review of the Vivo X50 Pro. Let me know what you think about this particular smartphone in the comments down below. And as always, for all things tech, stay tuned to gadgets360.com.